Hey, weirdos. It's Brian again. What's going down? Couldn't sleep tonight, so shit. Thought I'd just jump in and do some hobbying. It's one thing you can do is when you can't rest, be productive, right? So shit. Let's be productive together. If anybody's awake. Yeah, just had a couple of Japanese here I wanted to finish up. Thought I had painted everybody, but I missed two guys. So that's it. That's the way to go. Let's see here. Uh, it's about 11:30 here in Texas. It's all nice and quiet. Good time to get some shit done if you can. Things are quiet. Been so I found this channel on YouTube called Alter. Okay. And it's just a channel that has a bunch of like shorts, like movie shorts, like fan made and just kind of like whatever. Pretty good, man. I've been watching lots of sci-fi and like horror shorts. There's some pretty good ones, man. They run about a half hour long, if not shorter, um, or a little longer. They're all under an hour for sure. Um, but there's some pretty good ones. But I mean, there's some real stinkers too. But for the most part, they're pretty well done. Perfect time to I'm a big movie guy, so like I've seen a shit ton of movies, so it's just refreshing to like find stuff I have not seen before, and know nothing about. So that's always fun to check out. Again, I'm painting up some warlord Japanese infantry. Not bad. Not sure. So like I've also been watching a bunch of like Star Trek fan movies and fan films and fan whatever. Man, some of those are whatever. Man, some of those are pretty good, guys. I mean, a lot of it the acting is not all that great, but I mean, these guys, whoever's making them really have the heart, right? And you know, they're good. They're pretty good stories for the most part. I mean, again, the acting is not really the best, but shit. The effects are decent for the most part. A lot of them have really good effects, surprisingly. I guess that's easier to do than having good actors is having a decent effects. Bo, what's up, man? Yeah, I've actually watched like Star Trek Continues. That one's pretty good. It's kind of like it basically picks up with the original season, like where the original series ended. It's pretty good. Yeah, the new voyages. I picked up a couple of those. I've watched a couple of those. Those are pretty good. There's the Axanar. That one's pretty cool. I guess that has some guys from like real actors in it, like real like Hollywood actors in it. I guess that was the one. Wasn't that the one, the Axonar one? Yeah, that was the one that like Paramount freaked out about. They're like, oh, it's too good and it's too big budget. You got to get rid of it. It's like, hell, those guys are keeping true to the story more than the damn this reboot bullshit. Not a big fan, and that's why it's funny. It's like that's why they have all these different like what universes. I don't remember the like the like, I don't know. There's a term for all the different Star Trek universes. Just because they fucked it up so bad, they got to come up with these multiverse shit. That's like the catch-all to like. It's the catch-all to like when you fuck up a brand and IP, you just say, "Oh, it's an alternate universe." Whatever. Yeah, that's what I had heard. When Axonar came out, it was getting a lot of favorable, comments, and like that's when Paramount kind of started to come down on all these like fan films, and I mean, whatever. If anything, they're keeping the fucking IP alive, because they're pissing on it. In my opinion, I'm not a fan of, I'm a fan of the original series. I'm a fan of Next Generation. I liked Deep Space Nine. I think the first season was kind of, but it got better. Like when they had the the Cardassian War and all that shit was pretty good. I like the politics behind it and all that was pretty fun. But I tried to stay with Roddenberry's kind of dream of it. Oh, is that what it is? 10 minutes long? That sucks. That's bull. I mean, that sucks, man. I mean, I would, me personally, if I had an IP, right? And right? And people were, they loved it so much they were putting their own money, right, into creating something. Now it's another thing, like again, so I would probably I would probably stop where like, hey, you're making money on it. You can't use my shit to make money. But if you want to just make something, like selling a product, like actually like selling, you know what I mean? But if you want to make, use my IP to like expand and just, because you love it, I don't have a problem with that. But like if you're like trying to make profit off of my IP on a product that, I'm not getting any kind of residuals for, that's another thing. But again, I think most of these fan films are just people who love it and just want to continue it in the way that they feel like, it should be. So I don't know. It's entertainment's weird. It's like if the entertainers aren't entertaining anymore, right? Then the fans come out of the woodwork and actually produce shit that is entertaining. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then the people who are fucking it up are like pissed off because, oh, you can't do that, it's not right. And then your IP just lingers and just twists in the wind, and it's just a piece of shit. So they just like kill it. I don't know. That's kind of like what happened with 40K, isn't it? Like that guy who created, I think he did that A Star Days. That's badass, man. That's fucking awesome. That's a great like fan film. That A Star Days, like it's all like CGI. That was fantastic. I love it how it's like the Space Marines, there's only a handful of them and they're like gods, that's cool. They're not like, there's not like 100 of them in tanks and shit. It's just like, dude, that's dumb. Why do special forces need tanks? Something Imperial Guard's for. Anyway, they're like gods killing everything, just reaping through these fucking cultists or whatever or rebellion guys or whatever. Well, then, like, I think, like, GW saw this, and they're like, holy shit, this is something better than what we're producing. So what I think what they did is they put a cease and desist on everybody making anything, right? And then they just hired that guy to work for them. and that's cool to be hired. I mean, that's probably like his dream, wanting to be hired by GW. But oh yeah, Hell's Reach. I haven't. Hell's Reach is that really long one, right? It's like a black and white kind of like what was it, photoscope or whatever the kind of look to it. It's almost like sketch looking art animation. It's pretty cool. I haven't watched it all. I haven't watched it just because it's so long, but it's in my to watch list on YouTube. It's like Space Marines, right? And there's like against chaos or something. Yeah. It looks pretty fucking cool. Rotoscope. That's it. Rotoscope. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, dude, I missed you. I thought you were going to do a live feed today, and I fell asleep a little early today, and I just woke up, and I can't fucking fall asleep. Did you get versus Black Templars? That's it. Black Templars versus Orcs. Orcs. It's so funny. It's like the lore compared to like the game is just it's just there's no consistency in anything anymore, it seems, man. It's like in the lore, orcs are like these fucking beasts. But in the game, they're just like the toughness and the strength of like a human. Oh, you're depressed, man. What's going down, dude? You all right? I hope you're okay, dude. Man, sometimes it happens, man. I mean, it's not the best time over here either, brother. It really isn't. I'm physically really fucking hurting, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to maintain this work. I'm not fucking 20 years old anymore. I'm overweight. My knees are fucking shot. Knees are fucked. I've gone to the doctor about it. It was like, yeah, you got arthritic knees. You got not severe, but medium or whatever arthritis in your fucking knees, and that's from being fat. That's from the fucking lifestyle I had in my youth. I was really active and doing a lot of shit when I was young, and fuck, jacked up my knees, and genetically, I think I have some fucking issues because both my parents had fucked up knees, and they were normal size. It's not quite bone on bone, dude, but it's pretty bad. I mean, it's like I'll be insert like especially when I swim, when my knee, like when you're kind of when it's the hinge isn't just a straight hinge, it's kind of like it moves on an edge. It'll go, in the joint. Man, it fucking hurts so bad. I just go through, push through the pain, man. But I mean, I don't know if I want to live like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I mean, I'm in the process. I mean, I've lost almost 50 pounds this year, and that's great. And I'm working on. I'm planning on getting a gym membership this month, and do that again. The only way I can lose weight, guys, is it's not. I gotta fucking work out like cardio. That's how I back in my youth I got up to like 300 pounds, and in a year I dropped 110 pounds, and it was like working out every fucking day, watching what I eat. And I can't just diet and lose weight. I have to like fucking work out. And I just don't have anywhere to do it, man. I can walk, and I can't walk like I used to. I can't just go for a walk. So I gotta get on an exercise bike or some shit like that. So which isn't so bad on my knee. Cause shit, dude, it's so fucking painful. But it's hard. It's like you're damned if you don't do it, and you're damned if you do. But anyway, it's just getting old ain't for pussies, man. Your body. I mean, even those who aren't overweight, everybody's got their issues as they age. Be it whatever eyesight or cholesterol or whatever it is. I mean, this shit happens. You just roll with the punches the best you can. Try to improve yourself if you can. But yeah, Shit. Just like anything in life, man, it's just a fucking, it's a process. You just got to keep doing it. Can't give up. Just got to keep going, keep chugging along, keep forcing yourself to paint those miniatures. It's not going to do it by itself. I was so inactive. I was inactive pretty much for like 15 years, raising my kids, being poor as fuck, not having a vehicle, um, being homebound for the most part for like 15 years. Um, really took a toll on my body. Sacrificed a lot for my family. And I don't have any regrets. Don't get me wrong, guys. No regrets. I raised my kids. I homeschooled my kids. It was, and they were all happy. They never were wanting for anything. Um, you know, Great kids. My son dealt a horrible hand at birth. But you know what? We didn't live like that. We lived in happiness and love and joy. But behind the scenes, it wasn't always like that, man. It was like hard work. It was a lot of heartache and hardship. But they didn't see that, which was good. That was the whole point. So they can be, they could live their childhood, as kids and have a good time and not see a lot of the, anyway, but yeah. But we all we all have our cross, man. And the thing is like, listen, guys, don't ever think that your burden is any less than someone else. We all carry our own cross and everything is relative. I've learned that, I've learned that. You might think it's, petty or whatever, but in their world, you know, it's world shattering and you just gotta I don't put anyone's pain below my own. We all carry our own pain. And it's all different. So did you get your bases? You were saying that I think I overheard you talking to Shadow that you picked up some of the bases for your modeling and stuff, for your challenge stuff. Did you happen to use that guy I suggested on eBay? His shit is so cheap. It's great stuff, man. Coming in the mail, huh? That's cool. I put a Sisters of Battle on my picture for this video. It's not quite the gothic sci-fi Sister of Battle, but it's Sister of Battle all the same, right? She's toting a Thompson instead of a bolter. Yeah, that's the guy that I buy all my bases from on eBay. He does the same thing. It's like the beveled, kind of raised bevel edge. They're really nice, man. They look just like the traditional GW bases, and they're like shit a fraction of the cost. And he's in America, so it's not like it takes it takes a fucking month to get to you. It takes a couple days. Shipping's quick, and you can talk to the guy. And it's pretty good. He's pretty good. I buy all my bases from him, which is a lot because, buying Warlord, they come with those really like pancake bases, which I fucking hate. And I just replace all my Warlord stuff with that stuff. And then like all the dust stuff that I bought, I yank all the dust minis off their bases, and I use like the traditional beveled whatever bases. Oh hell yeah, dude! I've shot that, dude. I've shot I've shot almost every model of the Thompson. I had some buddies that were class 3 dealers, and we used to every year we used to have a machine gun shoot down here in Texas, then by Fredericksburg, and it's called Beers, Bullets, and Barbecue. We'd all chip in like I think we all chip in like $50, right? Earlier in the year, and then like that'll buy like lemonade for everybody. It'll buy and like junker cars and stuff that we shoot up at the town range. Man, it's great. Pretty wild, like the divergent kind of people that are there. There's like a lot of arms dealers. It's interesting that there's one year there's these guys, the reactionary force for like the nuclear, like the security force for like the nuclear plants down here. One of like Comanche Pete's security troops or whatever. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even know there was something like that, but I guess they do. I guess these like nuclear plants have like reactionary forces, security forces that respond if there's some sort of situation on the at the nuke plant. But anyway, they brought oh man, the one year he brought a Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle. Oh dude, that was awesome shooting that thing. I got pictures of me with that one. It's big old smile, best shit grin and smile, like laying prone and shooting that bad boy. That's great. And there were some crazy fuckers, man. There's this one guy, he's a pilot. He would fly around like really low, do all these acrobatic shit. Fucking crazy. But they were crazy, like, they're responsible crazy. Like, they're not all drunk and shit. We got drunk at night and we didn't shoot while we were drunk, but these guys are all like old ex-military and dealers and pretty crazy. Interesting stories, man. A lot of interesting stories about these guys. Interesting shit. So you're talking about doing some sort of application. Is that for that that job that your friend was talking about helping you with? Well, you don't have to tell me, dude. I mean, this is kind of public. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. I am out of khaki gray. That's not good. That's my primary color for my Japs. To buy some. I get paid tomorrow, so buy some of that shit. The Warlord ones? I guess they're flat, huh? They don't have like an inside to them. I keep some of those on hand to make things, or like if there's like some unique. I think I do put like weapons on those little flat ones, because when you have a beveled, when you have the elevated like crew, I don't know. I think I use that sometimes for like support weapons or some shit, but I don't use them really. Yeah, that's true, dude. Firearms ain't cheap, especially nowadays, man. I think the gun that I want, like that I think I would get the most use out of, most practical, and one of my favorite guns is the M14. I'd love to get one of those Springfield Armory, or I think it's Springfield Armory, or it might be Kimber. I can't remember. They make a M14 that is just beautiful, man. Great gun. I've shot it several times. Um, just I mean, it's 7.62, a good round, good solid round for almost any situation. Um, just a beauty to shoot, man. I just fell in love with it after shooting it. I was just like, man, this is like the perfect gun. It's pretty heavy though. LRB still making M14? I don't know. I've been out of the gun. I used to be like I mean I used to own several types of gun. I had a AR-15 H bar pre-ban. Um, I had what else did I have? That was my assault rifle thing, my assault rifle phase. But those fucking M16 Esh guns, they're a fucking bastard to keep clean. You gotta like clean the fuck out of those things. They got all those little nicks and crannies, and then the damn gas port. Jesus, you got to take that if you really want to clean out that gas port. You got to take it to a fucking blacksmith or a gunsmith. Take that shit out. It just fuck. The guns. It's a dirty ass gun. It's not easy to clean, in my opinion. AK is my buddy. Oh yeah, the M14s. I mean, it's a heavy gun, and that's you don't have much of a recoil with most heavy weapons, heavy rifles. But yeah, my buddy Jason, he's a big gun guy, and he's had tons of different guns. He was an AK guy, so he bought different kinds of AKs and SKSs and shit. Plus, those are like, remember when Brady Band hit? You could the only assault rifle type shit thing you could get were the SKSs because they didn't look menacing. They looked like a rifle, so they got away with it. It's just so stupid. That's politicians, man. Oh, if it's got a pistol grip, it's an assault rifle. Well, what about all the fucking like the M14s? That's an assault rifle. It just doesn't have a fucking pistol grip. Or the mini 14s or the fucking SKSs. I mean, they're all fucking assault rifles. They just don't look menacing. Just dumb. Yeah, I mean, just realistically, it's good enough for anything I'm going to be using it for. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not out there trying to, punch through armor or, anything like that. So it'll work for the shit that I need to use it for. I remember my friend bought a Desert Eagle 50 cal. Great gun, by the way, heavy as fuck. But the kicker is on those things is you got to have a certain grain bullet for that shit because if you don't, that thing is so heavy it won't cycle. it'll just stay open. It won't. You have to have a high grain to just get that thing to move. It's so funny. Like we bought it, he bought it, and we went out to the range, and we got, because we're cheap fuckers, we're poor. We bought the cheapest ammo, and some sort of low grain, whatever. And we're at the range, and we're shooting it, and it's just like, what the fuck? And it'd be open, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's just like you had to have the high grain, the good shit to really have it work right. That's funny. Never had that even enter into my fucking head. Yeah, I have. I used to have a Winchester Defender, 12 gauge. That was a nice gun, but as anything, through life, I used to have some really good shit, but I got into a pinch one year and had to make a barter with some fucking. I had to make a barter with somebody to get my vehicle back, and the only thing of value I really had that he was willing to barter with were my guns. So I ended up bartering some classic rifles and shotguns to get a fucking Ford Windstar out of Hawk. Yeah, that's life for you. But what's more important, a vehicle for your kids or fucking guns that are just sitting in your closet? I mean, he was cool enough to do the barter. He didn't have to. And I'm thankful that he was willing to do that. but he definitely got his money's worth. Value is subjective, folks. Value is subjective. So always remember that. If just ask somebody, you might get something. You might get a great deal out of something if you find the right person. Family always. It's true. It's true, brother. That's the only thing that's important, man. Or at least for me. Once I had a kid, holy shit, my life changed. I mean, they're my greatest achievement, right? Greatest thing I've ever done. And I think the best thing I've ever done in my life was be a dad. I mean, it's kept me, it's given me a reason, to live. Shit. I couldn't imagine, just living for myself anymore. Just I was never like I guess, when I was single I was like that, but I don't know. I just once you have a kid, it's just really changes your life. Changes your outlook. And there's some people who don't feel that same way. And that's everybody's different. But for me it's always been my kids are amazing. Amazing shit. Amazing kiddos. Let's see here. You got a bunch of boys, right? Are they're pretty close in age together. They friends. I looked at that my kids liked each other. You know what I mean? They played well together. And, so I got lucky with like not having too much of sibling rivalry kind of stuff. But the situation that was in our life, my daughter had to grow up a little faster than normal because of her brother had to grow up a little faster than normal because of her brother because of his condition. But they're still kids, but they always really cared about each other, which was nice. I used to say that about my family until we got a little bit older, and I saw how the family really was, and I realized that the only thing that kept our family together was my parents, and when they were gone, for the most part, the family kind of fell apart. Some of it not maliciously, but some of it was. So it's just strange how things change. The middle boy, that's funny. Oh man, the best thing you can do, dude, is just breed that love in them. Have them be, especially men, guys. Men can love and not be weak. Okay? Don't let that fucking bullshit get to you. Men can love and not be weak. Teach them that. You can care about things and people and not be weak. And I think, and then I've always our family's mantra is be a force of good in the world. Just live with what you enjoy, what you have. If there's something that you want, work hard to strive for it. But don't covet other shit that you're never gonna get. Don't get angry at the things that you can't control. Or fight. I don't know. You got to learn your limitations. If you want a Lamborghini and you're bitching and moaning and doing stupid shit to get a Lamborghini, come on. It's time to get real. Time to grow up. There's some things that you're never going to get. Anyway, or maybe you shouldn't have. Joe, what's up, man? Being a parent, it's crazy, man. It's ups and downs, dude. Trust me, when we were homeschooling, right? There were times where I had that doubt where I was scared. I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I stunting them? Am I not giving them the things that they need? Just because it's just that insecurity. Like, because I've never done it. It's just like anything you've never done. You don't know about it. You're ignorant to it. Doesn't mean you can't do it. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It's just you haven't done it. So it's like it's a challenge. And doing that, learning how to do it, and like it's fucking amazing, man. And it surprised me. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that shit, but I did. And it was a benefit to me, to the kids, and myself, just homeschooling. Being with them, being that close to them, forming that bond, that the parental, child bond. It seemed it was a little bit tighter because they would come to me for everything. And then there was like, I had an open book policy at my house, in my life. It's like, guys, you can ask me anything. It can be inappropriate. It could be, mature. It could, whatever. If you need to ask me a question, I'm here. I want you to do that because I don't want you to seek out, if your kids are afraid to ask you something that's important to them, who the fuck are they going to ask? And is that person going to love them enough to give them a straight answer? You know what I mean? So instead of, kids going to a teacher and asking them about something, they should go to their mom or dad, dude. Because those are the ones who truly, they should, at least they should. It should be that that parent loves them that much that they, they're there. And you want your kids to be able to come to you with anything. I've had some doozies, some questions. I've had some doozies. And I never not answered them. I would, if it was, adult question or some shit, you would have to dumb that answer down to, a level that they could understand, to a level that like was appropriate for the age kind of thing. But it was always a blast. Kids can always ask me anything, and they did. They fucking asked me everything. It was a lot of fun though. That's like one thing now. My kids are staying with their mom right now. Their mom has been out of the picture for a little bit. I mean, she's never been off the board, but she's just been like, she was doing her own thing, but she was always around. She's a good mom, but they're staying with her right now, and it's hard, man. I don't feel like I see them enough. Because it's just like my whole life has been them. It would be like I'm like, it's funny because guys, I'm like like kind of like a role reversal, dude. I'm kind of like I've been almost like a housewife type, the traditional kind of situation. I stayed at home, raised the kids, took care of the house, and all. I worked when I could, off the radar, or like I did a lot of construction shit off the board, menial labor stuff. But yeah, so it's I guess I can kind of feel like those housewives who like all of a sudden the kids have grown up and moved on, and they're out of the house, and your meaning in life has it's just changed. It's different. It's weird. And that's why I can appreciate people in different situations, man. Because, I never thought I'd be a fucking at-home dad, a single dad. Shit. But I was, and I am. So it's like, and it's not bad. It's fucking fantastic, actually. Like being with my kids, raising them, shit, that's fucking incredible. The one thing I did fail as a father, they're not war gamers. So that love of playing with little army men did not get passed on to my youngins. So I failed, folks. I failed in the cheering, getting the next generation to into the game. That's not bad. That's not too bad. It could have been worse, right? Could have been a lot worse. Am I still working, guys? I know I've been having problems with eBay, like or not eBay, YouTube. Yeah, it's weird. It's like I don't know. Because they've been around it my whole life. They've seen Dad paint, and they partook here and there. They've played every once in a while. They played in their youth when they were kids. They would like sometimes sit down with me and we'd play. But as they've gotten older, no, they don't. They don't have the temperament for it. They just, it's just not their thing. And it's so funny. My kids are just, especially my daughter, when she doesn't want my youngest daughter, when she doesn't want to do something, she is such an angel. She goes, "No, thank you." I mean, that's it. That's all she says is, "No, thank you." And it's like, what do you do with that? You can't respond other than, "Okay, baby." She just disarms you with just that phrase, and you're just like, "Ooh, okay, no, thank you." I'm just like, "Shit, you sure? No, thank you." Oh man, I love those kids. Love them. If you got kids, man, love on them, guys, because you just never know. You just never know what the next day will bring. Oh, D&D group, that's cool, dude. I think you were telling me about that. You wanted to sit in on them, but then you're like, no, let them do their own thing. That's true though. D&D, I was a war gamer before. Well, yeah, I was more of a war gamer before I was like a dedicated role player. Um, and even my role playing games, to be honest with you guys, kind of like turn into role playing or miniature games. That's why I get the pawns so I can have like lots of different monsters, lots of different shit, all that stuff. The reason I never use like minis in my role playing is just shit. It's just too expensive. I mean, because these, because you got to have a lot of different shit in these games. I just found it more cost efficient to use those little pawns, little cardboard pawn things. It is, yeah. I mean, D&D is a mild war game. It's funny. I got a buddy, Jason. He's a big, he's a big like DM guy, but he doesn't use like maps. I mean, the traditional map, the gridded maps. It's all just fantasy in the mind, And he just says like, okay, you got, there's a group of goblins coming at you. What are you gonna do? And then I'm gonna pull out my bow, and he's like, okay, well, and then he'll just arbitrarily in his mind just say, okay, you're, 50 feet away, pull your bow, roll your dice, but he plays it in the mind's eye, so which is cool. So you don't have to get bogged down with minis or terrain or maps or anything like that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, because I mean, if you're referring to like your game, everybody's online. I guess they're well. I take that back. I guess nowadays the big thing is like, like those programs or some shit where you can like have actual things on the screen or something. I don't fucking get it. I don't get that shit. I'll just play a video game. And don't they have like video games where people play together online, right? Isn't that the same kind of thing though? Like, you're playing as different things and you're all playing at the same time in like a squad or a group or whatever. And why would you? I don't get it. VTT video tabletop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just it's strange to me. But again, this is a generation who live on screens, right? So it's like I guess that's the natural progression, good or bad. It's what the kids are used to these days, and that's I guess what they are expecting. But it's there's us old timers who are talking about the social aspect of role playing. And but it's funny because I really thought about this the other day. It's like what is the common, like, the social commonality of our kids these days? And a lot of it, I would say, are like online friends and online events and all that kind of shit. So it's like, when we try to say, oh, you gotta get together, be in person and do that shit, and they're like, what? That's weird. Why? It's just strange. Virtual tabletops, yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I've never been one to go with the fads or what's new, really. I'm pretty low tech, pretty set in my ways kind of guy. Like shit, I don't even use speed paints. Like everybody else does. I'm still putting on a solid color here and then like doing a wash and all that shit. I don't want to learn a new way to do it. It's probably and you guys have told me it's like heaven. I don't know. It's just something else I'd have to fucking learn and do. When seems fine to me. Old Gronard, old gaming Gronard. That's me. I hear that, man. Me too. I'm the same way, man. It's funny. Me and Mel were sitting there watching the TV, and they were like, it was like I think we are watching something that was 3D originally, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, what could you add? What gimmick could you add to the theater, right? That would get you to go back, right? Because I'm not going to a movie theater. Shit, I can watch everything I want to see online in the comfort of my own home, you know, for nothing. You can have multiple people there and no one's spending any money or having to fucking hear those assholes behind you talking or on their phones during the. Anyway, I'm saying what gimmick could get you in the theaters, right? And I'm like, they got the sound down, right? And they got the lighting, whatever, from the screen and 3D and all that shit. And I was saying it smells. Can you imagine that? Imagine that. You're like somehow, like we're watching Jurassic Park or some shit, and somehow they're able to scent the room like it's like swampy, like like moist or whatever, like a swamp. And then like you could, like, if there's explosions, they could have like a smell, like a burning smell or some shit. I think that'd be kind of cool. Have some sort of weird that kind of a sensory depiction of the movie. I remember Smell-O-Vision, dude. Remember that back in, like, what was that, the 80s? They actually had they actually had they had a what was it? It was like a TV movie or something. Like it was on. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's true. You would have good smells and bad smells, right? But that'd be interesting, like, if you did have a smell-o-vision, right, of some sort, what scenes would be like defining smell-o-vision? Like, what would they make sure that you would smell? I mean, guys taking a shit, do they want to do smell-o-vision on that? People having sex, do you want to do smell-o-vision on that? I mean, I guess there would be a, like, but I don't know, dude. I mean, is it any different than seeing it, than smelling it, and hearing it, and all that shit? It's the same thing. It's just a different sensory organ picking it up. It's the same thing, though. Like, if there's like shit's on fire, and or like, even like, I don't know, that'd be crazy. Yeah, swamp smells and neckbeard smells and you know pizza fart smells. I think that'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know if it would go off because it'd probably be it's a sense that you normally wouldn't use for that kind of entertainment. But I think it'd be funny. But you as the filmmaker, you'd have to really choose what scenes to scent or what scenes to show so you didn't have to scent, like whatever. But I think it'd be interesting. It would be kind of a cool gimmick to maybe get people back in the seats. Like, it'd be like I mean, that'd be interesting, like, watching a war movie or something and smelling like the battlefield, burning whatever and like, and I think that would like even if it's like, assaulting your senses, it would be that much more dramatic, like as you're visually seeing it and feeling the hell, movies nowadays you can feel it almost. Those damn speakers are so powerful. You can feel those explosions and the stuff like just hitting you. I don't know, I always thought that'd be kind of funny. But I remember that smell-o-vision. It was like I want to say it was like it's like a comedy or something. And like you would go to 7-Eleven, you'd buy like a Slurpee or some shit, and they'd give you like a sheet. It was like a scratch and sniff like sheet or page or some shit. And then like I think it showed it on the screen like an image that you would like, oh, we're supposed to sniff this part. Oh my god, it smells like whatever. It smells like smut. there's a line that me and Mel use a lot. There's a movie, I can't remember the damn movie, some cheesy 80s like sci-fi movie. Well, there's these guys, they run into this warehouse, right? And they're like there's like I don't know, like these religious fanatics or whatever. They run into this church and they're like, or not the church, like a I think it might have been like a porn shop or some shit. The monster went in there, and then one of the guys goes, "This place smells of smut." It's just like so. Whenever we walk into a room and it's kind of weird, right? We'll go, "This place smells of smut." That's pretty funny. So there you go. There's a new line for you guys when you're walking around in the world. I smell smut. Uh, yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, I don't ever want to glorify the hell that is. I've never experienced it, and I don't ever want to. And those who have, I'm sorry that they had to. The most violence I want to, pertain to is little army men on the battlefield. I try to live my life in peace the best I can. Not to say that I won't fight if I have to, and I have quite a bit in my life. And that's one of the reasons why I changed my life is that I was finding myself in situations that I shouldn't be in. I was hanging around people I shouldn't have been hanging around with. These people weren't me, and I found myself in situations that were not me. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck, I gotta change my world. And I did. I did. I cut everybody loose. Almost everybody. I started over. That's one good thing, man. It's like no matter what people tell you, you can start over. If that means for you to move away to somewhere new, and if your life is like weighing down and bearing down on you or whatever, and you feel, and you can always start over. I believe that. I believe people can. I seriously think people can change if they really want to, and they have a need to and a drive to. I think people can change, and that can be for the good or the bad. So, because I've seen it, hell, I've done it. So what you got going on, Joe? You have any you doing any projects right now? We know that Bo's working on his gothic sci-fi crew. Oh, and trees, huh? That's cool. Never thought about doing that. Bristle trees. I love the bristle trees, like with the pipe brush trees, whatever people call them. I love those kind of trees. You heading out, Bo? All right, man. Well, hey, dude. If you need to talk, man, I'm always here, brother. You hang in there, okay, dude? I mean, it's I'm not one for like Destiny kind of like I think people can make their own world in the way that they want it if they have the fortitude and the drive to do so. But again, guys, you're talking to the wrong dude. That if you think I got the answers, I'm bouncing around on this fucking giant rock just like the rest of you. And if you guys might have better insight than me, man. But I wish everybody in this world peace and love and safety and freedom and you have a good one, Bo. Yeah, so Joe, you're saying you're doing some trees. Are those kind of like the trees that you like have like the skeleton of it and then you like build up all the brush on it, like the old scenic the what train scenics or what is it scenic train or whatever. Yeah, it's in my personal experience that man those things just are a pain in the ass. They get stuck on shit. you know it's hard to store them because they get stuck on shit, right? Like I put my stuff in totes, like my I'll show you real quick, let me grab it, like my trees. So I put all my trees in like these totes, right? So these are like this is all my like kind of like green trees. They're all like the bristle trees. So you couldn't store like the ones that you're working on with these guys because they'll get all stuck and they'll get all jacked up. I need to buy some more of those, like the skeletons, whatever whatever you call them. Can you? I guess if they're the same make, you couldn't put them with the bristle trees, could you? Because I've got a couple trees that I've made like that, and they get if they're with the bristle, the pipe brush ones, they all get stuck in that bristle shit. So I guess you can just store them together. They wouldn't jack around. But yeah, you definitely have to. Yeah, I was about to say you gotta you gotta varnish the fuck out of those things, man. I mean you just use like a spray, like what like glue, PVC glue and water kind of spray, whatever. I know they sell like a product, but you can pretty much use that too. Some sort of like a mixture. At least that's what I used when I was doing them. But yeah, you got to really spray the hell out of those things and make them pretty hard, or they'll start falling apart and shit. Mod Podge, okay. I've never bought any of that Mod Podge. I know it's around, and I know what it is. I've just never used it. I heard it's really good stuff. It's so weird. It's like, it's like, I've been using the same kind of shit since I was like a kid. It's just like, I developed that skill with certain stuff, and I just kind of just stuck with that. Not that I'm afraid to use other shit. It just seems like this other stuff just works. The stuff that I've always used works, so I just use it. It's just like, why do I even need to, do anything new? Because it's the shit that I do right now is perfectly fine. That's why I used to say, like, my girlfriends and my ex-wives or whatever, and they would like, why don't you get a cell phone? I'm like, why? I got a phone on the wall. I'm at home all the time anyway. I mean, shit, I work from home and whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, I don't need anything. I don't need a cell. I don't need a. But I say that I had to go get a fucking cell phone because for you to get work nowadays, it seems you got to have a fucking cell phone because it's like you can't apply for anything unless it's like on the computer. And then like when you do get it was funny. I went to a training for a job right the other week, and they're like, okay, guys, go to go to this website and start an account. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Yeah, get your cell. I didn't bring my cell phone. Why the fuck do I need my cell phone? I'm in a training class for warehouse order picker or some shit like that, right? They're like, oh yeah, you got to start up. I'm like, well, you didn't tell me I needed to bring some sort of computer, to activate my job or whatever the fuck. I mean, I'm just like, so that was I'm like, huh? That was awakening. Tells you how out of the loop I am, dude. But so I had to go buy a cell phone. It's just like a burner phone. I don't. The only time I use it is if fucking someone calls me. Hey, stop. That's awesome. It's true. It's like, he grew up a certain way and but I guess now that he has like streaming and stuff, he loves it, right? He loves access to all that shit. In fact, it's probably overwhelming, huh? Stop. Stupid cat. God dang. Mel's cat, man. She just comes in the room and just starts clawing the floor. Ugh. Stop. I remember when I hooked my folks up, when I got their internet going and all that stuff, they were like inundated with all this stuff because they had access to anything they ever fucking wanted, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's all there. And they're like, oh my god, that's like, oh, I'm like, and I'll go over the next week or whatever, and they're like, so how'd it go? And it's like, oh, it's just there's so much, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, what? Yeah, I plugged in, what I wanted to look at, and there was like, it said there was 1.5 million. Oh my gosh, that's too much. It scared me. I'm like, it was funny. I miss my folks, man. That's both my folks are gone, and I've lost several buddies too already. People I grew up with, same age. Man, it's crazy. You know, and these guys live pretty hard, but still, I mean, these guys are like really fit. They just seem like they'd live forever, but they didn't. It's crazy. Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's like me and my best friend, we lost like one of our best friends growing up with, right? And it's just weird, you know. We got together after his death, and we were just talking about like, fuck, man. And then like another buddy of ours died like not a month later, and you're just like, what the fuck? It's just weird, man. But you know, shit, I'm 50, you know, and man, that's still pretty young in, you know, today's standards. I mean, you know, the friend that died was 50, and then the other guy he was only like 45 or something. Yeah, and we've had like in the past, I've had friends, you know, die of tragedy and you know kill themselves. It's just weird. But when like people start dying like naturally, I mean like, you know, internally for whatever reason, it's just wild. Really makes you think, you know. It's like it really makes you think what's important in life, right? You know, is what you're doing worth your time? You know, are the people that you're around worth the time and the effort? Because you know we all check out, and it's like, is this, you know? Hey Matt, what's up, buddy? Oh, is your little girl doing good? I read that she had hurt her broke her arm. We give her our love and our good health wishes to get her back on track. I know that's scary, dude. Seeing as a parent, seeing your little one hurting. Woo, that's rough. That's rough. Seeing them, especially with a cast. But now she can have like all that cool artwork that she can draw on her cast. That's always fun. In fact, I have my son broke his arm, and I kept his cast because we had like, you know, everybody like drew pictures and signed it or whatever, and we kept it, and it's a cool little memento about, you know, just but yeah, it's creepy, it's freaky, it's freaky when your little ones are in the hospital. It's not fun. It never gets easier, guy. My son has a lot of medical issues, and I've been in the hospitals a lot, and it's always, you got to be strong, you know, you got to be strong. You got to be the one that holds everybody together, you know. But man, I've seen my little ones and some, yeah. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad that she's gonna be okay, dude. That's awesome. Oh yeah, no problem. That's great. It's one of those life lessons, huh? You know, it's funny. I've never, you know, knock on plastic here. I've never had a broken bone, so I have never personally been in that situation. But I think everybody I've ever known has had a broken bone or something. So it's common. You need to tell her to stop boxing. You know, let her grow up a little bit before she goes back into the ring, man. Or she's wrestling or whatever. Yeah, but my son loved his cast, and he was kind of sad that he had to take it off because there's so much pretty stuff on it. I'm like, he's like, you're not gonna throw it away. I'm like, no, no, we'll keep it. We'll put it on the bookshelf here. So if you ever want to go back and look at, you know, what everybody wrote on it and the funny pictures people drew on it, you can always, it's always there. Yeah, I couldn't sleep tonight. You know, it's like 12:45 in the morning here, and just couldn't sleep. So I thought I'd be productive, get online and hang out with you guys, get some hobbying done. which I found I tend to do better hobbying when I'm like hanging out with you guys. It's fun to just talk, you know. It's like hanging out with you guys is a lot of fun for me. So Matt, your buddies that you play Dust with, I saw that they've been playing Mars Attacks lately on their channel. That's pretty cool. I wanted to get, so I was a big, now the Mars Attacks came out a little bit before me because I think that was in the 60s the cards came out. But when I grew up, I had the full set of the cards, the original cards, and then like I would read the comics. And when the movie came, the movie I didn't like the movie very much, but the comics were pretty crazy. But but yeah, I wanted to get that game. I just it came and went so quick. I just never got a chance to get it. But it looks pretty fun. It looks like a lot of fun. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, Mel's working nights right now too, so I don't sleep very well when as he's not around. I was always a light. It was weird because like with my kids, you know, being parents, you have that like dad radar, and you hear something. You being parents, you have that like dad radar, and you hear something. You just like you just wake up. You're like, oh, what's going on? Everything big? Everything? Everybody cool? Everybody cool? I'm like that too, like big time. So like if I know like I'll just be kind of like that. You have that hyper sensory action going on. You're like, huh, what, huh, what? Oh no, the stream went out. Ah, shit. Let's see here. Well, guys, it looks like the stream is going out on me. So I guess I'll call it here. I want to say thanks for Matt coming by and Joe and Bo. You guys are always welcome to the channel and hang out. All you guys out there, just check the channel from time to time. I don't know when I come on or when I don't. So just always a pleasure to hang out, and don't be afraid to say hi or whatever. All right, guys, whatever you do, keep it weird. All right, guys, take it easy.